U.S. and UK readying attack ships and fighter jets off the coast of Syria for strike. A tweet was put out yesterday, and Jack Posobiec has great White House connections, and said that it was not the president who put it out. About 90% of the tweets are from the president. But sometimes some of his staff put out tweets and called Assad, horrible and all these big names. I don't like Assad. The point is, it's on record that 6 years ago, Hillary Clinton and the globalists and others staged events to begin the Arab Spring that led to Libya and Benghazi to get weapons to ship them into Syria so we could be Al-Qaeda's Air Force, as Senator Paul and Senator Cruz have exposed and as we have exposed. We're here in D.C. right now, covering this, dealing with this, but now the U.S. military, the U.S. Navy, the U.S. Air Force in the region is preparing to strike Syria and preparing to strike Russian forces there. We've already seen them bomb an airfield. We've already seen them blow up a bunch of Russian contractors a few months ago. This is so close to really boiling over. And let's expand on that. Let's remember, Obama created the red line 3 years ago, saying that if any chemical weapons are used in Syria, Assad is blamed. But then 3 separate times they've caught the jihadi forces, backed by Saudi Arabia previously. Saudi Arabia has now stood down, funding the attacks, and the Allah Akbar crowd videotapes themselves with the chemical mortars, launching the attacks on civilian centers to then blame Assad. So they're so lazy and so arrogant. The jihadis videotape themselves because they get all this big fan base out of it. That's what they do, to be rock stars. Here we're rock stars, or we're football stars, or whatever. You're successful, or you make a better motorcycle to be famous and rich. There they blow themselves up or kill people. And so they've got chemical weapons mortars attacking 3 separate times caught. The UN has said that it is ISIS and Al-Qaeda that have been doing the chemical attacks. And so right as the Russians are pulling the troops out, right as Trump announces a pullout, right as Assad, in their own sovereign nation, has defeated the outside invasion, a chemical attack right on time happens. Remember John McCain famously meeting with the leaders of Al-Qaeda and ISIS in Syria? It's a replay of that. So right at the time, you would expect the false flag to happen. And the Russians said 2 months ago, they said, we expect a false flag. We have intel that the whole ISIS crowd is planning a chemical attack to try to keep the United States here to fight with Assad. And right on time, that's now happened. But regardless, it's not our nation, it's not our country. It's a 6-year civil war that Obama and Hillary, the founders of ISIS and the founders of the Arab Spring, started. So why would we have missile cruisers? Why would we have destroyers? Why would we have all these aircraft getting ready with their bombs and their cruise missiles? Why would we be doing something like that, gearing them up to attack Syria and Russian forces who were invited into the country to stop this domino effect of Syria falling and then having the entire Middle East pour through Syria into Turkey with the entire Islamic invasion that we've seen unfold, funded by Soros, the UN, and Europe. So this is a globalist war against Europe to bring down Syria. This is a globalist war of total destabilization. And now Trump has said in a tweet, responding, because he did not send out the earlier tweet. I know previously McMaster said that he was going to attack a year ago, and Trump came out and said, I never said that. But Trump has responded now, clarifying, saying, he commented, we are studying the situation extremely closely. We are meeting with our military and everybody else that will be making some major decisions over the next 24, 48 hours. So there's the real statement from Trump. But this is an incredible time. Here, let's go ahead in a minute and go across here. But here's another issue. I'm in here in the hotel restaurant watching television 15 minutes ago, going over notes and things for some of the speeches and press conferences. That's press conferences with an S we're going to have tomorrow and have set up. And I'm watching Zuckerberg arrive at Capitol Hill to the Senate to testify. He's already through the main entrance. He's got 6 Capitol police around him, 2 in front, 2 at the side, 2 at the back, with other security all around that armed. And this is a guy that believes you don't have a right to security, that you don't have a right to protect yourself and your family. Think about that. This is a guy worth, what is it, $50, $60 billion? Last time I checked, it varies. He's got bodyguards, he's got armed compounds all over the U.S. and California and Hawaii. But he doesn't want you to be able to be armed. Just like here in D.C., even police officers can't be off duty with a firearm to protect somebody. You got to be federal. So only the elite here get to have protection. Nobody else does. It just shows how this is the swamp where the average person is treated like an absolute piece of trash. But some of them are so Stockholm syndrome that they don't even realize the position they're in. So here we go. Again, I'm ranting about all this, ladies and gentlemen, because it's just amazing to me that we were at this position where we could have World War III kick off at any time, and the average person just wants to stop Trump and stop the American recovery. The average person loves the fact that China has a $900 billion trade deficit against us, and that Trump put a $50 billion on them. They just have a sense of hating America as their culture, even though it's America that gives them all the opportunity, and it's America that people say they want to get into. So it's truly sick, and I just worry about my family. You know, I'm here in D.C. to defend the First Amendment. I was just meeting with some of the top First Amendment lawyers in the country. Some of them have represented presidents. Just met with a guy today that has represented major U.S. presidents. I'll leave it at that. And they said, undoubtedly, these suits on you are an attempt to overturn the First Amendment. These are some of the biggest cases in U.S. history. Undoubtedly. And that the left is hysterical and doesn't even care about the outcome that destroys themselves. That's what's incredible. That's the hysteria. Because you think about this, it's just like the Zuckerberg deal with The Guardian and the New York Times. And the Cambridge Analytica, which is a tiny company compared to Facebook, who was publicly scraping data and probably doing it wrong. Trying to burn Trump, they brought that out, showing that the entire business model of Facebook is data mining people's private data, not just public, now losing them $40 billion in a month. See how the left doesn't think? And I'm all about exposing data mining and stopping it. The point is I'm a privacy advocate. The point is that they point out some crooked toenail of what Trump did compared to dead kids in a basement is the allegory, the comparison. So Facebook's got 100 dead kids hanging by meat hooks in a basement, and Trump's got a crooked toenail. They tattle on the crooked toenail, and so now the whole Democratic combine is coming down, and Amazon's lost $34 billion. I mean, this is a full-on civil war economically right now. This is an incredible time to be alive. I cannot stress enough how hey brother, how you doing? Good. I cannot stress how crazy all of this is. I cannot stress how insane this is, and what an epic time. I mean, you cannot hide how big this stuff is. You cannot hide how insane this is. And the average person has no idea that there are U.S. destroyers with nuclear weapons and conventional weapons lined up right now preparing to blast Russian forces that are trying to pull out of Syria because the neocons want to start a larger war. And that Trump is being sucked into this. I mean, I'm being critical of Trump right now. They don't care. They don't care there's a nuclear war. Maybe they love that because it would kill Trump. I mean, that's how crazy the left is. They kill their own children if they can hurt Trump because they were fixated on it. They like baby ducks, they imprinted on it. So, come on, man, come on out. Infowars.com, newswars.com, major